Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And last night at around 11 p.m. Eastern, I was in bed. Toasty feet, comfortable, relaxed, getting ready to fall asleep, just finishing off dailies in a couple different games that I play. And then, what would you know? I get a bunch of pings on Discord. What's going on? There's a sneak peek. What in the name of bearded robot Jesus is going on? This villain is ready to rain down chaos and destruction. The Green Goblin. Hey, yo, inspired by No Way Home, joins Marvel Future Fight in the 7.9.5 update. You know, I gotta say, I'm feeling, and I feel a lot of mixed emotions right now, because on the one hand, there's so many things to talk about and discuss. Let's talk about the sneak peek first, and then I'll talk about how we feel, how the community feels, okay? So let's check it out. Over on the forums, one of Spider-Man's biggest nemesi has returned. The return of the Gobbler, aka the Goblin. Check out the new look of this supervillain along with his weapon and glider. Thank you. Okay, so we have the Green Goblin sneak peek. Let's take a look at it. It's very cool. I like it a lot. Picasso. Okay. Boom. Yes, sir. Hey, and we get our first look at the actual outfit. Okay, there's actually a lot of things to get to, but okay. So the grenade bounces at least 3 times. Okay, for those of you, okay, we'll address the first elephant in the room. For those of you looking for a tier 3 teaser, there doesn't seem to be one. Now that doesn't mean that Green Goblin's not going to get a tier 3. Nowadays, when existing characters are getting new uniforms, unless they're Black Cat or it's for a holiday, they're generally also going to be getting a tier 3 or a Transcendence. So I still think with this introduced now, oh yeah, sorry, the obligatory let's go, because of all the No Way Home believers who didn't give up. Every update, every month, they're like, this is the month for No Way Home Part 2. This is the month for No Way Home Part 2. And everybody else, including myself, the No Way Home deniers, we were just pointing and laughing at them like, what are you talking about? Are you delusional, deluded, deranged? But we were wrong, and they were right. So yeah, kudos to, hats off to the No Way Home believers. You did it. You literally manifested this update with your collective willpower and anus clenching. So I'm actually really proud of you. You can now safely go to the bathroom. But yeah, so Green Goblin, listen, I had to wake up extra early to record this video because I had another video pre-planned, and obviously I couldn't air that video with this being released at night. I had no idea, okay? I thought the updates were gonna happen like next week. Okay, so Green Goblin's getting a new uniform. Very cool. It's a very cool sneak peek. It looks really nice. He flies around. You can actually see that his foot clips through the glider. Hopefully the devs will fix this before the update goes live, because we don't want to see that in the animations in game. Clipping is a Dark Souls thing, not a Marvel Future Fight thing. So yeah, but anywho, there's no tier 3 sneak peek. There's no tier 3 hint here. Some people were going like super reach territory, like hyper and Inspector Gadget levels of reaching. It's talking about like the lines on the buildings and this bar over here, or like, I don't know, the creases on Willem Dafoe's crotch. I have no idea. There's no tier 3 sneak peek. There's really no tier 3 sneak peek baked into this one. However, there are a lot of other things. First off, we're going to talk about is the theory that some players have that this update was actually supposed to land in December, because you have this splash page here at the end, exclusively in movie theaters. Now, that could be true. That's a possibility. However, it's still in movie theaters, believe it or not. This is like a 4-month running movie. If movies do really well, which, I mean, this is one of the best-selling movies of all time now, they'll extend its run in the theaters, because they're like, hey, people are still buying tickets, people are still going, let's keep giving them what they want. Also, I believe they delayed the release, the digital deluxe, whatever, DVD. I don't even buy that kind of stuff anymore. I haven't in years, but like the DVD Blu-ray stuff, they delayed the release of that, presumably to keep it in theaters longer and sell more tickets, go for more accolades and awards and history book related stuff. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know. there's some value, there's some sort of possibility that this is true, that this was a December update that was pushed to April, but it's also possible that they, like, they wouldn't make that big of a mistake of not editing this to say like in theaters and home edition or whatever. Yeah, it would be a very easy page to just like, why go to all this work making this graphic, but then not change this graphic by just editing one line of text. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. The next thing, however, is a little bit more important, a lot more important actually. This sneak peek is written a little bit differently, or we assume that it's a little bit different than the other sneak peeks. Okay, there's no like period at the end. It's weird. Okay, but here's the thing: they don't mention that we'll see more with the update news, which means that there's going to be at least one more sneak peek, which is great. Which means that Lizard could get something, Sandman could get something, Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius, Alfred Molina could get something. Electro, there's tons of possibilities here, which is fantastic because all those characters need massive reworks. On top of that, you've probably already noticed and you're scratching your head wondering why it says March update, and you check your calendars and you know that you're not having a sort of fugue state here. It's April 8th. We are more than 1 week into the next month. How is this still the March update? Well, it is for whatever reason. If you look here, it's the 7.9.5 update. So what this means is this is not a full update. And what that means is that the actual full April update is going to happen later. Could be delayed all the way to the end of April so that it's Multiverse of Madness. Again, I don't want to get too heavy onto that speculation train because then you get expectations. And then if those expectations are not fulfilled, you get disappointed. But this is not going to be a full update. So I want to make that clear. From everything I've seen here, it seems like this is, again, being that it's a March update. I know it's not March, but they're lumping this in with the March update. It seems like they're trying to do 3 smaller updates per month, right? So we had Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, Echo, then we had Gwenpool, Deadpool, and now we're getting No Way Home Part 2, right? And they've done this before. This is not the first time that they try to do sort of 3 updates rolled into one. So yeah, it's kind of wonky when they do it out of season, in the sense of the March update is in April or whatever, like it's the wrong month. But at the same time, it's nice to know that, because I don't really think, like, as hype as I am for Green Goblin, I don't think it's really worthy of not only the anniversary update but also like a full update. I think this is better as like a partial update, to just sort of like give fans exactly what they want and just focus more on fan service, because players have higher expectations for full updates and they expect game mode changes and they expect quality of life changes, yada yada yada, especially around the anniversary. So it's good that they're not having those expectations for this update, so players can just focus on what matters here, which is the uniforms and the reworks and the upgrades for these characters, which is huge. So yeah, this seems to be a mid-month update at the beginning of the next month, right before the anniversary, for No Way Home Part 2. And it seems like there's at least one more sneak peek to come, because they didn't say wait for the patch notes. Now, for those of you wondering when this update should land, judging by the timing here, that this is April 7th, this is Thursday night or Friday morning for you people in Europe and Asia. This should be landing Tuesday/Wednesday, the 12th and the 13th of next week, respectively. So yeah, we only have about 5 days before we get to play with Green Goblin and whoever else shows up. And it has some pretty huge implications for the game. Not only do we have the possibility of getting a brand new, really strong speed villain, or maybe combat villain, who knows, or maybe even blast villain, who knows. But we also have existing characters who stand to gain massively from this. And a lot of players forgot and a lot of players remembered this. So I do want to talk about it because it's really cool. Moonstone, one of the most popular deluxe pack characters. Not only is she good looking, but she is good performing. Great performing even. Not a word. Not a phrase. But yeah, she's still one of the best PvE characters in the game. Huge burst damage, huge healing, cool animations. And the best support/lead for her is right here, the Green Goblin. His lead, of course, gives all Dark Avengers like Sentry, like I think Dakin, Scorpion, and of course Moonstone gives her 60% attack. And then the passive here, the Oz formula passive, which doesn't make sense name-wise, but whatever, gives her a buff, right? Increased damage to both villains and heroes, to all Dark Avengers allies. That's a huge buff. So if Green Goblin gets a rework and a tier 3 or a Transcendence, of course he's going to lose this passive, and he's probably going to lose this leadership. His leadership is probably going to change to be buffing himself or to be buffing the members of the Sinister Six like Electro does. But you can just switch uniforms, right? You can just switch uniforms and get that buff for Moonstone, and then use him with her in World Boss Legend and that kind of content, and have some crazy numbers once again. So yeah, really cool sort of auxiliary tertiary upgrade for an existing character that has basically nothing to do with Spider-Man and No Way Home, which is really nice. So yeah, I'm really excited for Green Goblin. I can't wait to see what else this update is going to bring. And we're still the thing is, we're still really close to a full update sneak peek, because we have 7 days left on this future pass. So in about 5 days, we're going to get Green Goblin and whoever else. And then just a few days after that, they should start showing sneak peeks for the next update. So it's like the amount of content coming at us right now is really nice. It's really nice. And as a content creator, it's really good to see, especially after basically a massive dry spell from January to right about now. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of Green Goblin No Way Home Part 2 and the Believers, and how they manifested this update with sheer force of will. Thank you so much for watching No Way Home Believers. Rest easy tonight, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.